What's your name, sir?
Junior.
Junior, how you feeling today?
I'm loving it. I'm loving the whole atmosphere. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. So I want to speak to you. You are African, correct?
Yes, please. I'm African.
What country are you from?
Nigeria.
Nigerian?
Yeah, Nigeria. Yeah.
What tribe?
Igbo.
Igbo.
How far now? Which one?
So how important is it for people in the diaspora to understand their heritage and understand their culture?
It's really important because I feel like the journey of our life is knowing where you're coming from. So if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to go. So I feel like that's the basic importance of it. Yeah.
And you see, Afrobeats, over the past few years, it's really been accepted very much, like really well by people all around. Yeah. Who do you think had the best track in 2019?
Wiz.
What song was it?
Anything Wiz did last year.
Anything Wiz did?
Yeah.
Anything?
Everything he did.
Okay, I like that. There's too many good people. It's hard for you to pick. But how would you say that you amplify Africa?
How I amplify Africa? When I meet people who are not from Africa, I try to explain to them and try to even invite them. So during the course of the last couple of years, I've invited a lot of people who are Black Americans or white people who've never been to Ghana or never been to Nigeria, and I've invited them to kind of like show them around. So that's my part of trying to amplify Africa.
And for someone who's never been to Africa and never engaged with anything African, how would you describe Africa to them in 3 words?
Heaven, heaven, heaven.
Right. Africa is heaven. You heard it here first. I'm Bissy Atkins. Peace. All right. Hey guys, your girl Bissy Atkins, and I'm here at the Amplify Africa Mixer, and I'm joined with this beautiful woman. What's your name, my love?
I'm Brianna Michelle.
Brianna Michelle, you heard it just like that. So I want to ask you a question. Who do you think had the best Afrobeat song of 2019?
I mean, I would say Afrobeat. Joanna.
Joanna. All right.
I mean, that's what you hear everywhere all the time.
And tell me, what do you think about Africa and its movement right now?
I'm excited about it. I mean, I've traveled to Africa. I was excited about it when I lived in Cape Town for a while. And I traveled to Ghana and Tanzania, and Africa is home. It's a vibe. And I'm glad that the world is understanding it because, I mean, they took us from Sorry. So obviously we're amazing.
And what would you say is the importance of amplifying Africa in everything we do?
Amplify anything that's a heartbeat. Anything that's a drum to living into life and to support moving forward and positivity. Amplify it. Yeah.
And if you could describe Africa in 1 word, what would it be?
The heartbeat of the world. Sorry, it was more than 1 word.
Africa, the heartbeat of the world. Hey guys, your girl Missy Atkins, and I'm here live at the Africa Mixer, and I'm joined with this very, very stylish brother. What's your name, sir?
Tommy Tribe, what's goody?
Tommy Tribe, let's get it. So, Tony, Africa is everything right now, and we've had a brilliant year. I feel like everyone's really understanding what Africa is, right? And Afrobeats, yeah? Who would you say had the best Afrobeat song of 2019?
As a DJ, there's no best, but there's hot shit. Anybody, Burner Boy, Jodo, Wizkid. Of course, David has some hits out there. Risky, it came in late, but it came in strong. Of course, DJ Tunes had the best thing. And even the, man, just there's so much you can't even, just check Tribe Vibes, Spotify, on iTunes. I got a playlist. Yeah, Tribe Vibes with 2 Y's.
So how important do you feel like it is for Africans in the diaspora to know where they come from, their culture, their heritage, everything? How important is that?
To be honest, I won't say it's important at all. It's essential.
Okay.
This is part of your DNA. So you either learn about it now or you're lost forever. So figure it out, learn about it, get hip with the music, get hip with what's going on. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying?
And how would you say you amplify Africa?
Man, if you see me, anything I do is all about Africa. You know what I mean? From the talk, the dress, the music. You know, you come to my house, we amplify in Africa. Everywhere I go in Africa, everywhere I go around the world, we bringing it back to LA. We out here.
And if you could describe Africa in, let's say, 3 words, for someone who's never encountered Africa, someone who doesn't know anything about the continent Africa, what would it be?
Lit, peace, love.
Lit, peace, love. All my people there, go to Africa. Should go. Hey guys, your girl Missy Atkins, and I am at the Amplify Africa Mixer, and I am joined with Sir. Please introduce yourself.
I am Ghani. You guys might know me as an actor. I've been in a couple of things. The Hunger Games, Terminator Genesis, Shades of Blue on NBC with Jennifer Lopez, Ray Liotta. And I'm on C right now, Apple TV+.
So this guy is very busy, obviously.
I'm all right.
Thank you for even taking time to speak to me right now. You know, thank you. So you are African, correct?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. So what part of Africa are you from? What countries in Africa?
My father is Nigerian. I grew up in Lagos. My mother is Kenyan of the Luya tribe. So yeah, I'm very African. East Coast, West Coast, whichever one you want.
And African music right now is being really widely appreciated by people all around, yeah? Who would you say had the best Afrobeat song of 2019?
Ooh, of 2019? 2019. I would say Tenny, Billionaire.
Okay, because we're billionaires, right?
Of course, you know, aspirational.
When she made that song, I was like, Bissy, billionaire, it just made sense.
Sure.
It makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
And how important do you feel like it is for Africans in the diaspora to know their heritage, to know where they come from, to know the importance of being African?
I mean, it's everything. How do you know where you're going if you don't know where you came from? You know, I was just in Nigeria and I was in Ghana for the year of the return, and it was so beautiful actually to see a lot of, black people from the black diaspora making their way back to Africa to see what's really going on there. And to see that West Africa, Ghana, is different from Nigeria, it's different from, East Africa, it's different from South Africa. So just to educate yourself on where you're from, to really know where you're from, it gives you a great appreciation for yourself. Mental health is everything. So if you know yourself, you love yourself. If you love yourself, you know what I mean? You can love others. So I'm all about Africans knowing exactly who we are, holding our position, our place in society, in the global world.
And in your everyday, how would you say you amplify Africa?
I mean, I just try to be authentically Nigerian. I try to be authentically Kenyan. Just something as simple as when people say my name. It's not Deo, it's Dio. So to amplify Africa is not don't liquidate yourself. Don't dilute your culture. Be 100% Nigerian and have the rest of the world meet you halfway. Sometimes I feel like we try to make ourselves small. We try to make ourselves more adaptable to other people's cultures, but no, you don't have to do that.
And for someone who's never been to Africa, never encountered anything about Africa and the continent, if you could describe it in 3 words, what would it be?
Exciting, real, and delicious, because our food is the best in the world.
Our food, in fact, shake my hand. You heard it here first. Go to Africa, okay? Hey guys, your girl Bissy Atkinson. I am live at the Amplify Africa Mix, and I'm joined with this amazing fellow. What's your name, sir?
Dennis. Yeah.
Dennis, where in Africa are you from?
Ghana, the best place in Africa.
I feel like that's a really biased answer because I'm Nigerian, so I don't actually believe Ghana's the best, but we're all really cool.
Yeah, everyone. No,
I have to
we're
ask
unity.
you.
We're unity.
No, but I have to ask you, Ghana or Nigeria Jollof?
Come on. Why are you even asking me this question? Come on, Ghana, Jollof. Come on.
It's alright.
But you lot not bad. You lot not bad. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
So Africa is being widely appreciated by so many people. Our music, our talent, our culture, our entertainment. Who would you say had the best Afrobeat song of 2019?
I ain't gonna lie. That goes to your Nigerian guy. Burner Boy.
Burner Boy, what song was it?
Destiny. Come on.
Okay, that makes sense. So how important do you feel like it is for Africans in the diaspora to know where they come from, to know their culture, to know their heritage?
Honestly, it's so vital. And I can go into a whole long answer, but like sometimes the media portrays it a certain way and it's like, hey, we're scared to even go back to our own place. So it's nice to go there and see the beautiful buildings. See, like, listen, Ghana is like Miami. Like, honestly, you can see so many beautiful houses. It's not just huts that they see in the media. Like, there's beautiful properties, there's great people, great food, good energy.
And in your everyday life, how would you say you amplify Africa?
Me, I'm always showing love to my African people. I'm always going to their events. I'm always trying to help my people that are from Africa, connect them to people to help them elevate their career.
And people that don't know Africa, that haven't encountered Africa or anything Africa, how would you describe it?
Beautiful, sensational, elegant, kings, queens.
Everything there. See, that I asked for free. He told us like so many more. So guys, go to Africa. Hey guys, your girl Bissy Atkinson. I am live at the Amplify Africa Mixer, and I am joined with the man himself, David Adufah. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Doing great, things going well, having a good time. Can't complain. It's Grammy night. Well, Grammy weekend. Grammy's right next door, so we get traffic. So we're having a good time over here.
I'm Nigerian, yeah? But for people that don't know, where in Africa are you?
I'm from Lagos.
Lagos.
You know where that is?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes, Lagos, Nigeria. Yoruba. Obo Yoruba.
Opo.
BC, Abby. Oh, okay. BC, that's a name from where? What part of
That's from Ondo.
Ondo State? My dad is Agoiwe. Ijebu. You know where Ijebu is? Where Maizreli. They call us, no. That's what they said. That's not true, really. I mean, no. We're generous men. We're just misunderstood. We believe in savings and investments for the future. Our friends want to spend for now. So Ijebu people are the wave of the future. Financiers, yes.
Speaking about a wave, yeah, I feel like people are really now jumping on the wave that is Africa. They love our music, they love our food, they love our culture, yeah? Who would you say had the best Afrobeat song of 2019?
Oh.
In your opinion?
Don't put me on the spot like that, huh?
Yeah, maybe top three.
Okay, there's so many of them. Okay, so I'll tell you about my experience with music in Africa. There's two things that come to mind. The first time is I moved to the US in 1990. I didn't go back for like 18 years. I went back in 2008. Going back to Africa in 2008 and leaving Africa, it was all about hip hop, it was R&B, it was reggae. And then going back to Africa 18 years later, and everywhere I went, every lounge, every restaurant, every place, it was African music, it was Afrobeat. Now I grew up with Fela, Baba, and he was kind of the only one there were others, Peters, but it was there, but it wasn't as much. I was consumed by African music. It was just beautiful. And African clothes, African food I was so proud of who we were, who we'd become after I'd left. We'd become a country that was inward looking at our strengths, and I was so proud of it. And so that was my first experience with Afrobeat. It was like, wow, huh? It was P Squared, then Wizkid, then it was that young kid who's at well, then it was T.Y., then it was that young kid, Tenny. Tenny is amazing. We went to the studio. I'll tell you something. We were in Lagos. Okay, I'm a finance guy, right? My girlfriend is my other half. The other half of my heart is in music. But I'm a finance guy. I never seen music created before, like being made from scratch. We go to, the first time we get there, we go to Pew Square's house. We have dinner with he and a few other people. Tenny comes over and Simi comes over. They jump in the studio. I mean, we have a good time. We're hanging out with. After a couple hours, they jump in the studio. And I saw music being made. It was so beautiful. So two of my favorites, Simi. The song, I don't know when it came out. I mean, a couple years, Oh I'm Back. Oh.
Come on, you know.
Look, that song, I remember growing up in Lagos. I remember growing up in Lagos. It was Owambe after. My mom loved it. My dad was, Anyway, that was my second. So, Simi and Tenny are two of my favorite artists. Simi's, I can't even name the number of Tenny songs that I like. So let's just say Tenny. Number 3 was an album. It was music that got, was released. I was blown away. This guy, Burma Boy. Wow, Burna Boy. His last track, one of the songs on Beyonce's album. Okay, so you know your music. So those are my top 2. Yes.
And how important do you feel like it is for the diaspora to know their culture, to know where they come from, to know their heritage?
It's critically important. Many of us come over here and we forget that there's home. We forget not where we came from, we go back and forth, but we never actually go back to do good things. So I was in a place yesterday, Harambeans. The Harambeans are a group of Africans, all in technology, who have dedicated their lives and their money to reforming Africa using technology. I was so proud. There were guys working on water, there were guys working on phones, there were guys working on transportation, guys working on telecommunications, banking, finance. I was with someone who's becoming a really good friend who started a company called Andela. We call him E. He's a good friend of my sister, and he started Andela. He has a company called Flutterwave, and I get inspired by things like that. He came over here. He lived over here for a number of years. He got the itch to move back after about 10 years. And the impact of $1, and then $1 as an investment in Africa versus $1 over here is magnified in Africa. So I think us Africans, starting from we old people over here, all the way through the young people, it is so important. He got connected. I was so impressed yesterday. He got connected to his own, back to his own roots and making a difference in the lives of our people. It is so important for people like us to go back and get connected. Go back and start a farm. Go back and start a finance company. Go back and give your professorial experience. Go back and teach whatever it is you do. Try to go back because we have knowledge. We people, the folks over here have knowledge that our friends and our family members need down there.
For people that haven't experienced Africa, they haven't been to Africa, they don't know anything about the continent as well. How would you describe it in 3 words?
Okay. You know about the first time I went to Africa, I told you about that, right? It was amazing. It was all about African music and beats. The last time I went to Africa, I went with my girlfriend, my other half. I went with her mom and her sister, and I got to see Africa through the eyes of Americans. I got to experience it through the eyes of someone who's not from there. And that's when I really started to appreciate our culture. The food, the people. Traveling to Africa is a colorful experience. The art, the museums, the sense of, you walk around and on the billboards, they're all black people. The president is a black guy. The senators are black. You get a certain type of pride for an African American going to Africa because they didn't grow up like that. You get a certain sense of, oh, this is where I'm from. And so that's what I got to experience. So it's important for not just us, African Americans, Europeans, African descent, and even non-African descent. You got to go back and learn that culture, go see. So I encourage everyone who has time, go back and experience Africa.
Guys, go back. Experience Adufah. It's the